trend, can I get someone to tell me what type of trend this is? Or I draw this little structure. Someone tell me what type of trend this looks like we're currently in from this little structure that I drew.
Uptrend.
Uptrend. Perfect. So in an uptrend, we get what type of lows and highs do we get in the uptrend? Who knows the answer to that?
Higher lows and higher highs.
Perfect. So basically, what that means is in the uptrend, you want to place your fib from the low to the high. Okay. So here's an example where we place our fib from our low to our previous low to our previous high, and then market created that higher low. That's kind of what we're looking for, a higher low, and then either a equal high or a higher high. Most of the time, you want to see a higher high because that confirms your trend. So based off of this low, this high, this higher low, and this higher high, the next thing that you would expect is a what? After the higher high is created, what should you expect next in the uptrend? After a higher high is created, what's the next thing you're expecting in an uptrend?
Higher low.
Higher low. So now, if we just place fib from here to here and market just created a new higher low and a new higher high, we're placing it here. So from this low to this high. So basically all you want to see is a retracement of the move that the market just made when it created your new structure. So this low, this high, you get this retracement. You want to see a retracement from this entire move so you can continue on with the continuation. So that's why it's called a fib retracement, right? You're going from the structure of a low to a high. You want to see a retracement to create a higher low to continue your trend in the upward direction. After a higher low is created, you want to target a new higher high. After a new higher high is created, you're expecting market to create a new higher low. So once it creates that higher low, we can continue on and create a new higher high. Does that make sense? So all you're gonna do basically is just continue to move your fib every time market creates that new structure for you.
Interesting. I didn't know. I thought you planted once and that's it. Okay, good
Nah,
to
see,
know.
the market is always moving. So once market creates new structure, you gotta adapt to what it just did. So with this one, right? What type of trend would this be? I have a high, low, lower high, lower low. What type of trend would we consider this to be? What structure? What type of trend is looking like it's going to be? Anybody know? High, low, lower high, lower low,
Downtrend.
downtrend, right? Not gonna lie, y'all. This right here gets mad boring because it's so repetitive. And once you basically understand that, you already got 25% of trading down pat right there, just from understanding this part. So again, if we was to draw fib, of course, we want fib to go from this high to this low, right? We want to see a retracement, create a lower high, and we want to see a new lower low be created. From there, we then gonna go fib from this new lower high to this new lower low, and we expect another retracement to do what? Create another lower low from that lower high. That's it. All right. So that's how you use your fib, and that's how you continue to adapt to the market to move your fib from the new highs and the new lows that the market is creating, depending on if it's an uptrend or a downtrend. Okay.
Done? The chicken done. 3 more minutes? What
Can I
about
get
the chicken?
can I get some chicken too?
20 minutes more?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, make sure y'all mute if y'all not asking a question or answering. I want mine some chicken right now myself. I had turkey hamburger for dinner. I'm on a diet right now, y'all. I had like a taco bowl kind of. But anyways, we talking about trading. We ain't talking about what I ate for dinner. So yeah, that's how we do the field. Let me check the chat, see if we had any other questions. Does one particular strategy work on all pairs and on gold or not? Um, I mean, I would say I feel like yeah. Yeah, I feel like you can have one strategy that works for everything, but you got to think about it like you got to trade certain things a different way. For gold is more volatile. You'll get liquidity sweeps and a lot of wicks and crazy stuff happening with gold. So you probably want to adapt to trading gold a little bit differently for how you would trade a regular forex pair like USD CAD, for example. Um, Me personally, I don't really swing gold like long term. I kind of intraday trade gold. So I take shorter trades with gold than I would on this USD CAD trade to be exact. Because we're like, guys, if you see this, this is a crazy risk to reward. Honest, this is a 1 to 17 risk to reward. I ain't gonna lie, and the reason why it's so like I'm literally risking 40 pips to make over 600 plus is because I'm looking at the higher time frame. Like this is the daily. This is literally what I just showed you guys. Market created a right here we have a low. I can start here and say low, high, or this is really a lower high to me. So from here to here, this is like a lower high, higher low, higher low, higher high. So as you can see, when I'm looking to enter over here, I place the fear from this low to this high, which was my previous low, my previous high from where I'm currently at. So this right here, when I seen this right here, I'm thinking, okay, this is the previous high, this is the previous low. I went fear from this low to this high, right? Because I'm expecting this to be a higher low. All right. So based off of that itself, that's the daily time frame. So on the daily, if this is what I got, I'm expecting this daily to confirm this to be, sorry guys. I'm expecting this to be a true higher low right here. All right. As y'all can see, I have the upward trend going. If we draw this, so you guys can, 1 second, y'all. Okay. Okay. Okay, my bad. I had to message my fiance. She got out of class at 9:30 and it's 10. I'll make sure she was okay. All right, so from this higher low to this higher high, we expecting this to be the new higher low that's created. So what I did was I knew I went from on the daily time frame because I'm this is a swing trade. From this low to this high, I'm expecting the market to come and take out this high and create a new high all the way up here based off of what I just showed you guys. Remember, what I showed you guys, why does it keep doing that? What I showed y'all was basically this move, the same move, this low, high, higher low, and I'm expecting the market to create a higher high. This is literally that same thing right here. This low, high, expect the market to create this higher low to go create an equal high or a higher high. And I literally just placed fib, right, from my previous, you know what I'm saying, previous low, from my most recent low to my most recent high. Smooth that back. I don't know how I just did that. All right, let's delete this. This kind of what we got right here so far. Something like that. All right. So that's basically what we have on this trade so far because we don't have a full. Let's actually bring it down so it can look exactly like this one is kind of looking. So this is kind of what we have right now. All right. So that's kind of what we have on the daily time frame, right? Same example, you know what I'm saying? This is literally our strategy. This is literally how we trade. So what I did on this trade specifically, I drew my fear from the daily low to the daily high, right? And then I went to the 4 hour. So based off the 4 hour, I'm basing my structure off the 4 hour, and I'm paying attention to this 4 hour trend. Now, look at this right here. I'm realizing that the daily came to an area where market should create a higher low at. So once I seen that, I went over to the 4 hour. Like, okay, what is the 4 hour giving me? Right? The 4 hour, right, is still giving what, guys?
Done.
Right? Yeah. 4 hours still giving me what? If you're looking at the retrace, because this is a retracement, the 4 hours giving a retracement, right? And we're getting what type of structure off this 4 hour? Someone tell me. Who knows the answer to this?
Downtrend.
Yep. We getting that downtrend, we getting that retracement that we were looking for so we can continue on with our buys. But as y'all can see, market is giving this downtrend, right? But it was giving us the downtrend on the 4 hour because it was trying to reach our daily to give us a higher low. Does that make sense?
Oh, I can meet myself.
What?
Meet myself.
How can you meet yourself? What do you mean?
Hold on, I got you. I got you. No worries. I'll do it for you. All right, I got you, but I think I just muted it for you. Let me know if you're trying to unmute and it don't unmute. I'll just send a message in the chat and say you can't unmute if you got like a question, and I'll unmute it for you just in case. Because I think like if I mute you, it might permanently mute you, but maybe not.
Say question.
Yes.
So yeah, so in a higher time frame, it looks like that you're still waiting for the market to go to your spot in order for you to buy. But however, if you go to the lower time frame, say for example that 4 hour, and it's giving you a downtrend.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, if you're doing swing, do you do downtrend or do you sell or do you? Because I know it's hard to tell sometimes. This is one of my thing. Like I don't know, should I put in 1 hour or should I put in 4 hour? Should I? Because if I'm going to buy in the 4 hour, it feels like I'm going against the trend because the trend is
Mm-hmm.
downtrend.
Mm-hmm.
So that could potentially mean like just burning my money. You know what I mean? Like
No, I got you.
so in that case, so for the 4 hour, is it good to just short?
Okay, that's a great question, and I had the same conversation. I had the same conversation over the weekend with someone. So this is how I want you to look at it, right? If you're looking at the daily time frame and you're saying that the daily is an uptrend, you kind of always want to go with like the daily bias, right? Because it'll give you an idea of which direction to really trade in overall. Now, understand that if the daily is bullish and it's giving you a low high and you're waiting for the higher low, then the 4 hour is going to be bearish, right? So I would say, and this is literally how I trade, right? I'm not going to tell you guys anything different from what I do. If I'm looking for a higher low to be created here, the minute that the market gives me a high, low, lower high, lower low, I'm looking for sales and I'll take the sales all the way down to this area. And then I realize, okay, now I'm at a daily support or a daily area where the market should start going the opposite direction because the daily is going to overpower the 4 hour. So if I'm here at a higher low in the daily and the 4 hour has already reached that area, then I know, okay, this is no like the sales are no longer valid according to the daily, right? Because the daily is confirming the higher low. So if I go to the 4 hour and I'm still seeing, you know what I'm saying, lower highs and lower lows, yes, this is an area to technically sell on. But I want you to understand, like, if you're on the daily and you're looking for buys, then you need to wait till the 4 hour can confirm your buys. But what we did here was we went with the daily, we drew the low, we drew the high, and we're waiting for the high low to be created on the daily, right? I seen the 4 hour and I said, okay, the 4 hour is still giving me lower lows and lower highs. So I'm waiting, right, until structure tells me, okay, we're no longer giving lower highs and lower lows. So again, me looking at the daily, I knew that I was waiting for this to be a higher low. Okay, the daily has gotten here. The 4 hours has gotten here. I want you to understand that eventually this thing has to turn around to where we have to start breaking these lower highs, and then you're going to see something like this, right? You're going to see something like, and I'll draw it out so you can see, but boom, you're going to see boom. You know what I'm saying? We're breaking these lower highs now, and we're basically retesting this, right? Does that make sense right here so far? Do you kind of see
Yeah.
like where? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm basically
We
breaking
have
the
we have to wait for the market to go above the last lower low
above the last lower high. So
and last
technically,
lower high. Sorry, that little guy there.
yep. So technically,
And
if
then
you
if it breaks that, then that would be your confirmation that you should start buying.
yes, but what we did was we got a very early entry on this because
Yeah.
technically what can happen is market can break above this high and then retest back to this area. So instead of us getting
Yeah.
in buys here, we got in buys way down here at the very bottom. Like we had a sniper entry. When I say this is a
Yeah.
perfect entry, this is probably like a crazy
At the
entry for most
bottom.
people. But what will really confirm this is actually fully bullish is that we get a break of this 4 hour lower high and a retracement back to a retracement of this area and the continuation going up. But what I did was, and this is just the part two of your question, what I did here was I went from the daily. I confirmed that the daily was giving me a possible higher low here based off of this support area right here. 1 second. Based off of this support area right here, right? This support was respected. Normally, we want to enter at the 61.8. I kind of know that we're going to sweep liquidity. We swept this low.
Yeah.
We came back above it. And when we came back above it, this is what I was waiting for. So what I did was on the daily, I'm confirming, okay, this is possible higher low. I went 4 hour. I said, okay, let's get closer to what we need to look at. So based off of this right here, right, I say, okay, if we sweep liquidity down here and we can come back above this area and close above here, above this zone or back in above this area, I'll take this trade because I know that this is a sweep of liquidity. If price comes back above and closes and stays here, then I know that we should see this react as support and market to continue to push up. But what really confirmed it for me is when I look to enter the trade, I'm entering off a 1 hour time frame. So again, I looked at the daily to confirm, okay, did we get like a sweep of a low, which we want to enter at the 61.8 normally, but I wanted to see market kind of break below here and then retrace back up into it. We broke below here. Well, we technically didn't break it. We rejected this area like a liquidity sweep of this low. We came back and closed above this zone. So technically speaking, this was kind of like an early entry for me, but I had enough confirmation based off of when I went to the 1 hour and I seen this right here. All right. So the 1 hour, I looked at this and I said, okay, we have this lower low, this lower high, this lower low, right? And I said, if this candlestick breaks back above this zone and we do like a little pullback into here, I'll enter this trade. Reason why? We got a big bullish candle. We created a fair value gap based off of this displacement in the market. We created a nice fair value gap where you can kind of see that this is like a gray little box right here, right? Because at first it was green. I'll show you. This right here was a green box for me at first. So I said, oh, snap. We just respected this area. This right here was a low. We got a lower high. We got a lower low, which I knew this was liquidity. And then we broke back above. I said, okay, if we break back above, I need to see market at least retrace back where we broke out from. This is like a head and shoulders too. This was another confirmation for me. This was like the left shoulder right here. The neckline, the head, right? And then for me, technically, I gave this the neckline, and then I was looking for this to be the right shoulder. Understand the head and shoulders is not always going to be perfect, but you got to go with what makes sense. And this fair value gap and this big old bullish candle was enough to make sense for me. And then what put the icing on the cake is if I'm looking for the entry off the 1 hour, the last thing I need to look for is do I see a possible reversal, like a possible. I already knew I'm at this support. I already knew I entered off a fair value gap. But do I see a type of do I see the lower highs and lower lows being breaking on the 15-minute? And that confirmed it for me. When I went to the 15-minute for the entry, this is what confirmed it. This is what solidified it for me to get in this UC buy. This was a lower high. Market created this lower low. You see this change of character right here? When this blue candle broke above here and it said change of character, for me, that was enough to confirm, okay, we need to be entering after we get a retracement back in this zone. Once we got that retracement, I said, all right, guys, we're going to take this buy on a Friday. I said, some of you guys, market closing. So if you don't want to take it on Friday, take it on a Monday. Market retraced back here. It tested this area, and then look what happened. When the market closed, it closed like this. Closed right here on Friday. And when market opened, for some reason, it's just open just like this. We were entering right here, and market just opened straight up here, and it's been going up ever since. But like I said, my final confirmation is, and let me just go back because I know I'm probably throwing y'all off just a tad. But the daily, I went low, high, higher, low on the daily. 4 hour, right? 4 hour. I did the same thing. I'm just paying attention. I'm looking at it like, okay, did we get, I don't know why this just did that. What just happened? Hold on. 1 second. Let me refresh. Okay, my bad, y'all. I don't know what happened just there. Okay, so I looked at the daily. I'm looking at this area right here to confirm. This area right here is where I'm looking for my higher low because I know the 61.8 is the area that I want to enter off of. But before I enter there, can I get some type of um reversal somewhere in this area? So higher low on the daily, 4 hour, sorry, higher low on the daily here. All right, 4 hour. I'm looking to see if we respect this zone. All right, I have my zone here on the 4 hour. The zone came from the left. Anytime I'm looking to enter a trade, I'm looking to the left. That's every time, guys. Anytime you want to enter a trade, look to the left. So from here, I knew that I drew this zone based off of this right here. Because I knew, like, if I entered the 61.8, this is the only thing that would tell me that market should respect here. But I knew for a fact that we need to sweep liquidity first. So I knew that we needed to go below here. And I said, okay, this is the last zone. I had a zone here, here, and here. My final zones. So once I saw the market sweep this area, I said, okay, if market breaks back above this zone, then I'm going to scale down to the 1 hour to look and see if we have some type of bullish confirmation to look for buys now. And that bullish confirmation came from off the 1 hour when we broke back above the zone. When this swept liquidity and this huge blue candle created itself, I said, okay, that's enough confirmation to say we're back in this zone. And all I did was go to the 15-minute after that to get my entry. And this is what from this low to this high and this pullback is what made me get in this trade. The break of this lower high, this big blue displacement or distribution that market created, and then this small little pullback back into this fair value gap is what made me enter this trade, place my stop loss below this low. And now we're currently sitting about, let's see, currently sitting about 81 pips in profit. So right now we had a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and we have our stop loss at break even if the market decides to come back to this area. I kind of already gave you guys the okay to go ahead and take some parcels, or if you feel like closing your trade, by all means do that. It's 80 pips, right? That's a lot of pips to catch. A lot of traders that make a lot of money don't even catch 10 pips. You know what I'm saying? But for us to catch 80 pips, that's crazy, right? So, but me personally, I'm looking to hold this trade all the way till we create a new high. And that's, like I said, that's like an 800 something pip move. It's gonna be like a $3,000 profit if I hold this trade. I think I'm right, like maybe like 450, 500 right now, just off of these 80 pips. Sorry. So, any questions? Like, hope I kind of explained it for you guys to kind of understand like what my thought process was with this trade. But any questions, please feel free to ask me or let me know if anything kind of confused you or you need me to clarify anything further. I really want you guys to understand like what I'm looking for. If I'm looking to buy or take a buy on a trade, I need to make sure that retracement trend has been broken, right? And what I mean by that is this right here to confirm that for me. I see this lower high. I see this lower low. This right here was also like a piece, like technically like a lower high in a way, like a little pullback, right? And then market came here and then broke above this area. This was enough for me because I knew that this was my buy-in zone. I just needed to see some type of lower high, something structure be broken to take a stab at this trade. So we entered at a very low point, right? A very low point. If market decides to come below here, guess what? It's going to keep going down, right? So by us getting in, we can kind of see that market now it's creating. At first, we were creating those lower highs and lower lows on the left side. Now it looks like we're creating these higher highs and higher lows on the right side. All right, and then I would say the last higher low that we truly made, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You see, we kind of broke below here, but now we're trading right back above it in a way. Kind of came below here, and now we're trading back above this area. So, and that's just literally how I took that trade. So I went from the daily to the 4 hour. So daily fib, 4 hour structure, 1 hour breakup structure, and then 15-minute for my confirmation entry, and 15-minute for the what's the word I'm looking for? The reversal. So daily fib, 4 hour structure. 1 hour was the break of the previous structure, and then 15-minute was more of my confirmation entry. So again, that's kind of what that was. Just this push back above the zone was enough for me to say, okay, it's time to look for a possible entry. Once I got this push of this 1 hour candle, and I saw that fair value gap, I went to the 15-minute to see what we had going on. And when I went to the 15-minute, I saw that that candle broke or changed the direction of this downward trend that the market was creating. And I just got this right here, this candle right here kind of changed the direction of this trend. And then once I seen that pullback, I said it's time to enter. So stop loss below here and take our trade. All right. Any questions about that, guys? Let me see something real quick. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing screen really quickly so I can see the chat. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna read any questions or any notes that I see in the chat. So before we place any trade, what's the first thing we should look for, bullish or bearish? Okay. I don't know if I already answered that question, but before we place a trade, before we place any trade, the question is before we place any trade, what's the first thing we should look for? You need to look at the daily time frame and determine which direction is the overall trend in. All right, and then you look at the 4 hour to figure out. So the overall direction is the daily. The 4 hour is going to tell you what the current trend right now is. I typically like to trade the 4 hour trend. So basically, if I see a low and a high, and I'm waiting for a high low to be created on the daily, guess what? Zay is going to trade the 4 hour trend. So if the 4 hour trend is bearish, guess what? I'm taking sales. Right? If the 4 hour trend is bullish, guess what? I'm taking buys. Right? But that's depending on what the 4 hour is giving me. If the daily is bullish and the 4 hour has gotten to the daily structure that I'm waiting on, then I need to be waiting for the 4 hour to be broken to get the buys to continue bullish. Or I can scale down to lower time frames to see if I can get an earlier entry just so I can get it at the lowest point possible. That way I can hold this trade and not even have to worry about it. Because if I get it at the lowest point possible, market is not going to come back to that lowest point unless it's actually going in that direction. But
Yeah,
nine times out of somebody got a question?
yeah, no, I kind of feel that because I actually missed the US CAD.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the middle of something, and then next thing I know, I was like, okay, no, too late for that. I was like, okay, I'll just wait for the market to go back to our level. But then
Mm-hmm.
it did not. The following day, but 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock, I was like, holy, I don't think I can keep this. Because yeah, it keeps going up. So I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Because we got to end at a very, very, very low
Better
point.
luck next time.
Oh, it'll be more trades. No worries. Don't stress about that at all.
Yeah, exactly. No, no, I missed that one. It was already 1.70 something.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? But yeah, I just marked my chart. So if it will go back to 137,610, then I would take it. But it was already at 137,910, something like that. But I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh no, no, it's okay. I'm gonna miss that. I missed that.
absolutely. That's how you got to do it. Because there'll be many more opportunities. That's not the only, currency pair. So
That's right.
it's plenty of other currency pairs for you to capitalize off of. Do not put yourself in a position to, you know what I'm saying, get into a trade at a bad entry. Like just imagine if you got in, for example, let me share the screen one more time. Just imagine if you ended up getting in this trade, you know, when it got all the way to that highest point right there. So let's say if you dropped the dollar lot size, right here, right? You like, oh snap, I can get in. That you just jump in because you scared to miss out, and the market done
Yeah.
jump all the way down, and then you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
And then you jump out, and guess what? The market go right back up. You like, see, you know what I'm saying? So it's best to just wait. If you don't get the entry, you know what I'm saying, that's all the way down here, it's okay. Just wait on the
Yeah,
next trade.
exactly. That's what I did. I was paying attention to it just to make sure that if if it goes back to our level, then I would. But if not, let's go.
Perfect. Smart move.
Let's go. Yeah.
Smart move. And I mean,
Okay.
and then even looking at it, that's why I tell you guys to take partials and things of that nature too, because you never know what the market can do. Because I'm looking at this aspect or this part right here, to where this is a gap as well in the market, right? And as y'all can see, market created a high here, a low here, because we broke this higher low. We broke this higher low right here. We got a high, low, and then this could potentially be a lower high. But again, I'm looking at the higher time frame, so I'm not worried about this little stuff that's happening here. I'm going to be able to trust the trade and allow the trade to play out in the direction that it wants to play out in. But for now, you know what I'm saying, looking at this at a short term, you can say market is creating a high, low, lower high, and then someone can take a sale down to this area, take profit here. But that don't mean our trade is going to continue going down. It may continue going up, or it might just go down. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know. All I can do is adapt to the market and be able to protect my profits and my capital. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to always be mindful of that as well too. Like I always look at everything in the market. I don't just be like, oh, I just think it's going straight up. I look at what are my possibilities that this trade can start going the opposite direction. And when I seen that, I said, okay, guys, feel free to take partials or take profits as you see fit. But me personally, I'm just gonna let this trade run. If it go back the opposite ways, so be it. I don't lose anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
true.
but yeah, so that's that on UC. Let me see
You
if
will not lose something you don't have.
exactly. Okay, so another question. When we see a break of structure, mean the change of direction? Not necessarily. If you see a break of structure, that just means that market has broke the previous high that was created, if it's an uptrend, or the previous low that was created. Like for example, if market is doing this, right, and then you see this is a break of structure, right? Break of structure, right? We breaking the actual structure of the uptrend. But when you see this is not called a break of structure. This is a change of character, which means that this is going the opposite direction of what the overall trend was. So now you see a break of structure, and then you see a change of character, and now you see, you know what I'm saying, this pullback, and then you see another break of structure. You know what I'm saying? Break of structure, break of structure, and then the market comes back above. Guess what? Change of character. You know what I'm saying? That's that. So depending on your overall trend, you should continue to see um break of structure if it's continuing to break these highs. But once it start like breaking your higher lows, then that's a change of character. And this tool that I have actually tells you that. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and look, why is it doing that? If you go back and look, like we zoom in on this, you can kind of see that right here. You know what I'm saying? As we were breaking the highs, we were getting breaker structure, right? We broke a high, we got broker structure. Then we created a high here and then a higher low, and then a breaker structure at the higher low. And then for some reason, we went lower than this higher low, which would cause a change of character, right? But then guess what? Market didn't fail to continue going in that direction, ended up breaking structure again. So that's why you want to stick with trading in the overall trend. Like, don't get so caught up in these little bitty moves, because some people would have thought, oh, snap, we just broke this low. So we should probably get a lower high right here, right? Made sense. And then people start selling, and guess what? Market went right back up. That's why you don't count the trend trade. Like right now, this trend is bullish, right? So you want to stick with that. Um, Now I won't look to really be taking sales or looking for sales until we actually break, you know what I'm saying, an actual true low. You know, in my opinion, this right here would be a true low. If we break below here, then we probably just gonna see market continuing down. But for me, I'm not really worried about what's gonna happen there. I'm looking at the higher time frames. And if this is a true higher low here, then guess what? We should be getting the higher high eventually. Right. And that's how you gotta look at the market. Be confident in what you see, what you mark up, and leave it alone. Leave it
Uh,
alone.
the question is that you said it retraced lower than the 61%. About what percent did it go? About 78% on the retracement based on Fibonacci.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Did it retrace deeper than 61%, like to about 78%?
Yeah, this retraced really deep.
Okay.
It didn't come to the 78.6, but it came pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm doing my research and basically they're saying that opinion and that piece I read was saying that liquidity lies within that 50 to 61% because a lot of people trade there.
Yep.
So they tend to retrace closer to the 78%.
Yep.
Deeper, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. That's 100% right. And it makes sense. That makes so much sense because why not stop out all of the retail traders first, take their money, you know what I'm saying, and then be able to push the market in the direction that it should go in. Let's take out everybody else, the smaller money people, and then we push this market up in the direction they want to go in. And that's why it's so important to use that retracement trend line that I tell you guys. Don't just blindly enter at the 50 or the 61.8. I've realized that's it. That's the easiest way to get cooked by liquidity. Just entering blindly off of 50 or 61.8. I don't care if the market drop all the way down to the 78.6% or the 100%. Right? I need to confirm a break or a retracement. I mean, a break of the retracement trend. If I'm looking to enter at the 61.8, I'm looking to the left. Okay, what's my possibilities of entering? Okay, this is a support. 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 Okay, which support are we going to respect? And what I mean by that is which support are we going to break below? Right? Because if you see would have kept doing all this, we would have never entered this trade, right? But what I wanted to see and what happened here, if I know that I'm looking to target the 61.8, I'm looking at this daily to be a higher low. I knew that we were going to respect either this area. Hold on, sorry. We were either going to respect this support here, this support here, or this support here. These were my only areas I was looking to enter this trade at. Look what happened. We blew through this support. We blew through this support. We hit the support and then we rejected. So once I seen that, I said, all right, shit, I ain't gonna fuck with that one. Excuse my language, y'all. I ain't gonna mess with that one. Let's see if we can push back above to this area right here. And if we can push back above, all I want to see is my favorite move. Right? Because this is what the market does. You got that little low right there. I want to see a nice liquidity sweep of that. Go ahead and take that out, right? Then come right back above it, right? And then retrace to show me that you're going to respect that support. And as soon as you do, guess what? I'm entering that buy. Right? Because you got to think about it. This right here give you that high, that lower low, and then you get these small little lower highs and high, you know what I'm saying? The little bit of structure. And then once you get a break of that, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is what happened here. Right? When I went to the 1 hour, y'all see that. The little lower high, right? We ended up boom, lower high. I guess they classify this pretty much as like some type of like little small pullback in that. But that's what we got. And as soon as market broke above that area, or broke above this, all I want to see was a pullback into it so I can take that trade up. So that's why I say like I put my my zones at areas near my 61.8. And I want to see which area is going to be respected. And based off of what gets respected, all I need to see is you hold above it or break through it, come back above it, hold it so I can enter because I can confirm, okay, that's where you're going to respect. Just like you respected here. I could have entered here, but I wanted to be sure that we broke back above and closed back above this trend line in this zone for entering. All right. So don't just blindly just enter off the 61.8 or any levels on the fib. The fib is to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like figure out where you're trying to target. The fib is nothing but like a full retracement of an entire move. And the market should usually give you back at least 50 to 61.8%. But if most retail traders or all retail traders know that information, we don't want to get caught in their trap and become the liquidity because everybody trades that way. Everybody knows that. But everybody don't wait for that that break of that retracement trend. Everybody not patient enough for that. Everybody want to just jump straight in the trade and then lose the trade and be like, damn, how did I get taken out? Well, you were liquidity, bro. Wait for the liquidity to be taken out, then get in the trade. A whole lot of people got stopped out at this 61.8% because they were buying straight off of here. Look at this candle, shot straight through it. Once you shot straight through this is nothing to stop the market other than this right here. And then if market breaks through here, then what's going to stop the market? This right here. So instead of just jumping in at these areas, wait for market to go ahead and make its move, right? Wait for market to do one of these funny business moves right here, right? And then when it comes back above, now you wait for that retracement back into this area to hold it to support. Just like when we throw a basketball on the ground, boom, we should expect it to go up. Stop loss below here, take profit, you know what I'm saying? The new high, -27, and that's it. That's it. That's all. Trading is nothing but patience, man. Once you master like patience and not being like so eager to jump into the trade, you're gonna make so much money trading. But the main thing you want to make sure is have I seen liquidity be swept yet? Do I see, you know what I'm saying, market respecting the area that it just broke out from or swept? Like after it swept liquidity, are we retracing back up to the area? Are we holding at the area? Okay, I'll take the trade. And if you lose it, you did everything that you wanted. You just take the loss. If you win it, then perfect. I want you to understand that losses are going to happen. You can't avoid them shits. You cannot avoid losses. But what you can do is up your probability of not taking a loss. And this is kind of how you do that. Wait for liquidity to be swept at your area of interest. Once it happens, then you look to enter your trade. All right, guys. I want y'all to watch this recording over and over and over and over. You feel me? It's going to help you.
Hey, I got a question. Do we use Fibonacci extension on our team to predict, use it as a way to kind of figure out where you could put your TP?
What you mean?
Of course, we use Fibonacci retracement. So can we use Fibonacci extension to kind of try to predict where the market could possibly go from where you're at?
Are you talking about this right here?
No, that's a Fibonacci. I don't know what you pull up there, but I'm just saying there's Fibonacci extension, which is
This right
basically,
here, trend-based fib extension. That's what you're talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never used that before.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I never use it, so I don't know. That might be something I'll look at, and I'll get back with you on that just to see.
Okay.
Yep. But this is the only thing we use right here. All right. Any other questions, y'all? Let me check the chat. Okay. When do you give more weight to change your character to start trading the other direction when it hits the field up? Never mind. Oh, okay. You said I just answered your question. Okay, cool. All right. I got any more questions?
Hi, Zay. So not really a question, just wanted to know what happened with EA. I just came back from work and I just saw it and I was like, what?
You said Euro AUD?
EA.
Ooh. Yep. All right. Let's see what's going on with here. So looking at EA really quickly. Let's look at a daily. Let's look at a daily time frame. All right, cool. So let's take everything else off. I'm gonna mark this up and then we're gonna get up out of here for the night, y'all. All right, cool. So looking at EA, right? I'll say since August 2022, this thing looks like it's been trending upward. All right. So currently right here in the market, all right, this was the last low, like most, I ain't gonna say most recent low because most recent lows are here. But from this low to this high, this was the last high that was created. So the last true high that was created, is technically right here, all the way up here. So the last low or lowest low looks something like this. All right. Now, this is how I would draw my trend. I mean my fib. So this is the daily for me. Uh this low, this high. All right. Now, understand we gotta get a retracement from here to here. Some type of retracement. As y'all can see, EA has been it's below the 78.6. All right. So from there, I'm just gonna go 4 hour, and we're gonna look at the 4 hour and see what the 4 hour is doing. All right. So looking at the 4 hour, we can obviously see that this is downtrend, right? Everybody see that overall, like it looks like a downtrend. So from here, lower high. All right. Let's see the last lower high here, and then just look. I can say lower high here, and then this lower high. I'm just gonna use this one instead of the other one. So boom. All right. So boom. There we go. So these are the lower highs on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, and we're far away from that 61.8 too. So entering anywhere down here is gonna be a crazy entry at the bottom, but we gotta figure out what's the right entry. All right. So based off of that, what I'm looking at is what's being created here. So I can kind of see right here. All right, I'm just trying to get closer to the market because the current candlestick is right here. So I need to get close. So this low, I'm gonna use this low right here too. All right, so now what I'm trying to do is just understand what the market is trying to do or which direction it's really trying to go into. All right, so we have this low, this high, this higher low, this higher high, this higher low, this higher high. All right, so based off of that, all right, because now I would draw a fib from this low to this high. I'm just trying to adapt to the market, guys. That's it. So here, and I'm pretty sure this is how Mino had it marked up for sure anyways. Right? So instead of trying to take that trade all the way, swing trade that trade all the way up, now this is irrelevant to me. I'm looking more so like a more of a day type trade. So I see we have this low, so that's a zone. This high, this is a zone. All right, now I'm gonna pay attention to my left. So anything right here is cool and all, but what I need to look to is the left from this fib, from this low to this high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark this zone. That's the 61.8 area. That's the area that we like to enter on. I'm also gonna mark this zone. This is another support that market can come to, right? And then, honestly, truly, this is another zone that the market can come to, which makes sense. Now, for me, right, these zones are the areas that I'm looking to enter off of. We can obviously say that this is not a zone that we can enter off of because market done broke through that, so we can't enter there. Now, these are the areas that we need to look for, right? Actually, let's put that back because I want to show you guys something of how you should approach this. All right. Okay, cool. So understand, right? In this case, we can kind of already see what market is doing right now because you know what I'm saying, we're looking at it now. But from this point of view, this is the 61.8, right? So what I would have expected market to do is, right? Um, I see that this was a low, this was a high, this was a higher low, this was a higher high. This is a lot of choppiness that's kind of going on. But anyways, if I'm looking, let's say if I was looking to enter here, right, at this area right here, I would have to make sure that market is has broken this retracement trend. So I'm looking in anything I'm looking to buy. So I mean, just looking at this high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, cool. So that's the 4 hour. What I'm gonna do is go to the 1 hour. All right. So if I'm looking to enter, once it got to my 61.8, right? In this case, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All right. So okay, so the respect on this zone here, here, here. You look for entry here, stop loss would have been below here. You would have hit take profit already. That's done. Now let's look at how close we are currently. All right, we came back to this area, right? Came back to this area. So let's say if we're looking to take another buy. So we have lower high, got a break, retracement. Yeah, so from here, if you're looking to enter here, stop loss would probably go below this area. But if I'm looking at it as far as my zone, like the zones aspect, what I would want to see, which I kind of got a little bit here, but what I would want to see was basically a break, some type of like pullback or something back above this area retracement, and it did that. I would have entered this trade. So I basically would have took a loss here because I would have been looking to place my stop loss below this area, but the zones kind of help you determine that you need to place your stop loss below these zones. So if you're looking at enter like right here, the safest place to place your stop loss is below here. This right here kind of looks like a sweep that's kind of happening. But what we will be looking for is market to just break back above, retest, and then look for the entry here. But that's basically all you can really do in this case. I don't know where exactly, but in this, what I mean is basically like this right here, for example. We want to see market kind of break below here, come back, retest, and enter the trade. Now, this right here, we would have lost this trade. That's cool. Nothing we can do about that. But let's say market did come to this zone, maybe pull back above the zone, retest, and then take the buy up. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say market did decide to come to this zone, come below, back above, and then take it like that. So that's the only way that we really can take this. So let's say this zone right here that we're currently at, this look like if we buy in here, you place your stop loss below this zone a little bit, let market do its thing. This looks just look like a liquidity sweep to me. That look like a setup. This is like accumulation in this area, manipulation, and then we should see some distribution. So I think market might end up holding at this zone right here and continue going up bullish. If this candle closes, if this candle rejects and doesn't close below this zone, it's probably going to continue up. This just looks like a trap, a liquidity sweep to me. Anytime you want to enter a trade, you need to make sure that the market kind of like sweeps the liquidity or sweeps the lows before you take the buy. And this is a prime example what I'm showing you guys. You kind of want to, let's say if you're trying to enter this zone, wait for the sweep, kind of didn't get a sweep. So that makes sense right here. If you're looking to enter here, anywhere in here, you want to see market kind of sweep this area, which now we're getting that sweep. And what I mean by that, after you get that sweep, what you really want to see now is market to kind of come back above, kind of retrace, and then continue up in the upward direction. But right here at this zone, like where it's currently at, ain't really too much you could have done. You know what I'm saying? From there. But I do see like this probably looks like a liquidity sweep of this support right here to continue bullish, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe news or something that just popped up or something like that. But yeah, that just looks like a liquidity sweep of these previous lows right here. But again, this just goes back to depending on where you're looking to enter at. But even if I go to like the 15-minute, let's see what we had here. All right. Lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. So yeah, that's why I would have bought this right here. I would have bought that right there. I would have bought right here. But honestly, truly, on the 15-minute, if I'm buying at this higher low in the 15-minute, I need to get out at the 15-minute high. So I would have hit take profit unless you're trying to hold this bad boy. But if you're trying to hold this trade further than this, if you're entering up the 15-minute, I want to get off at that 15-minute high. But if you're trying to hold this trade or take this trade, understand that if you're entering anywhere here, I'll give you guys the play. If you're entering, let's say if you're entering anywhere like right here, no matter where you are, if you're entering anywhere right here, your stop loss has to go below this low right here. You entering anywhere in here, let's highlight this. Anywhere in here. Not that. Anywhere within this space right here. Anywhere within here. This is the higher low. This is the new higher low. So your stop loss truly will need to go below here. Because low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Well, this is a small entry right here. So, but anyways, if you enter here, 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 stop loss goes below here. That's the last low. But like I said, this is just be a liquidity sweep happening. Market to continue up. I probably would just go ahead and place my stop loss. If I'm entering here, I would probably just place my stop loss a little bit below here. But you can kind of see market probably just try to stop you out just to go in your direction. But let's say if you do get stopped out, if you were to get stopped out there, all you need to do is just wait for market to do this, come back above, retrace, get back in, and ride the trade back up. The whole point in this market is not for you to make money. That's the thing about it. It's not meant for us to make money. They don't care about us making money. It's for them to make money. So we got to just do what we can and make sure that we're using proper risks and we're using all our confluences before getting into a trade. But sometimes losses just cannot be prevented. They're going to happen. But literally, like I said, if I was looking to enter this trade, at this point, I definitely probably would have got caught slipping or something because I would have placed stop loss right below here just to be safe, like a smaller stop loss. But overall, that's the true low that you want to place it. But I'll probably have been looking to enter. Can't really say because there's so much like support here that you would think it's time to enter like somewhere up in this area. But me personally, before I even enter or wherever I'm looking to enter, I need to see you sweep the most recent low for me to buy or the most recent high for me to sell. That's what I need to look for. If I'm looking to enter a trade, if I'm looking to enter right here, let's say I'm looking to enter anywhere right here, take out this low first. Take out this low so I can know that liquidity has been swept before I get in here. Just jumping in just based off of this, you ain't confirmed that a low or a liquidity has been taken yet. But right here, we know liquidity is being taken. So they're stopping out all the people that are buying or trying to stop out all the people that are buying just so they can push the market up. All right. And it looks like if we can get this candlestick to close, we can expect market to continue going upward. Yeah, that's definitely a sweep. Order block right here. Bullish engulfing. Easy entry right here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Makes sense. Everybody should have been buying right here. All retail traders should have been buying right here. And that's nothing but accumulation, manipulation for distribution. That's it. That's it. That's all. That made sense though?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks, Day. I'm at 2%, so I might die. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
No problem at all. You have a good evening as well.
Thanks.
All right, y'all. Let me check the chat real quick, make sure we straight. Cool. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this call for the night. I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all for hopping on. I am going to send this recording as soon as it finishes downloading. Make sure I drop it in the chat so y'all can have access to it. If y'all got any questions that you know what I'm saying y'all may have, anything that comes about as you watch the recording or maybe as you're just going through the rest of this week, please feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, man, y'all have a good night. Appreciate you all.
Thanks, man.